Hello, people and cricket lovers. Let's talk cricket with L Sivaramakrishnan and me, Kasturi. For a lot of people out there, கஸ்தூரிக்கும் கிரிக்கெட்டுக்கும் என்ன சம்மதம் அப்படின்னு கேட்குறவங்களுக்கு you need to know that I'm one incurable cricket buff. It's a disease that runs in my veins, and I have a lot of therapists. One of my best and most trusted cricket therapist is, of course, good friend L Sivaramakrishnan. It's my pleasure to have you on with us to share your insight about a very exciting game that we just saw. LS, the first T20 match between India and Australia after that forgettable one-day international series. This was just such a wonderful way to start the T20. Namma India T20 kicks, obviously one of the world's best, and the T20 World Cup is coming up, so it's very heartening to see that we still have the mojo. But எனக்கு இன்னைக்கு வந்து இந்த மேட்சை பார்க்கும் பொழுது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பெருமையா இருந்த விஷயங்கள். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் தமிழங்கடா வாஷிங்டன் சுந்தர் அண்ட் ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ் நட்ராஜன் ரெண்டு பேரும் பின்னி பெடல் எடுத்துட்டாங்க. ஐ திங்க் தே கான்ட்ரிபியூட்டட் a lot to the victory, or that's what I believe. And then there is the whole Chahal factor. So it's all about the bowling எனக்கு இன்னைக்கு தோணுச்சு. So let's start from the beginning. Give us a recap and tell us how you saw the match today.
Well, first of all, India batted. And I've been
I know we batted first. We batted first.
See, what Australia did was, they know India are very good at chasing with Virat Kohli in the side. So they put India in. So India, well, they batted first. And KL Rahul have been mentioning in the one-days, he should open the innings. They allowed him to open the innings in T20. He got an excellent half century. He got it at 51 or 40 balls. That might be a strike rate of 125. But the problem was the pitch was on the slower side. And then towards the end, there was a little bit of a middle order collapse. But Jadeja, I think, is the most improved batsman in world cricket. I think he's batting superbly, and he did a wonderful job.
He had a strike rate of close to 200, illa?
Yeah, he's hammering fours and sixes at will. So that's the kind of strike rate he will take forward with him.
இதை எனக்கு அடிக்கடி சொல்லியிருக்காரு. Viewers, I mean, this is probably new conversation for you, but between LS and I, என்கிட்ட ஒரு one day series போயிட்டு இருக்கும்போது அட்லீஸ்ட் ஐ திங்க் யூ would have told me some 5-6 times that Jadu is one of the best assets to the team that is playing in Australia அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. Of course, we all miss Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma is not there, but you always told me Jadu is tremendous value as a batsman, and then he can bowl as well, and it's great to have him in the team. நிறைய தடவை சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க, and today he made you proud. Made us all of you proud.
Tell you a few incidents. I mean, I've seen Jadeja right from a very young age at the National Cricket Academy when I was coaching. And he was a confidence cricketer. He had a lot of confidence, even though he was limited in his abilities at that point of time. And he was very confident, and he knew what he was doing. He knew what his limitations were, and he did not go beyond his limitations. And when he was picked for Rajasthan Royals in the first year, the great Shane Warne called him the rock star. And Shane Warne doesn't rate cricketers so easily. So Jadeja has done wonderfully well for himself. He's not a bits and pieces cricketer anymore. He's a genuine all-rounder. In fact, in today's form, if you look at him, he can just play as a batsman.
Oh my God, yeah. What was his score? 43 out of 22 or something.
Yeah. He kept hammering boundaries. I mean, he was scoring 40s and 60s earlier of 30-40 balls. Today was 40 something of about 23 balls.
Nearly 200 strike rate, and that is at the very end of the game. Ball adichu talaila, we are going to talk about this. Ball talaila adichu, the guy waves his right to a replacement and just keeps going, and he had a concussion.
He had a concussion. I mean, what the new regulations of the ice.
Aftermath of Phil Hughes.
Yeah. they've taken the precaution that ICC has now brought in a new rule saying concussion substitute and like for like substitute. Jadeja batted beautifully, but Jadeja is one of the five bowlers we have in the team.
He was an
Even though,
opening bowler, actually.
yeah, Justin Langer was very, very angry. I mean, David Boone was the match referee. He went up to David Boone and Aaron Finch was next to him. They had a lot of discussion because Chahal was left out of the playing 11. And Chahal, being in brilliant form in the IPL, was a like for like replacement in terms of you can't say a left arm spinner is injured. So you have to have a left arm spinner replacing him. A spin bowler is injured.
ஸ்பின்னருக்கு
So a spin,
ஸ்பின்னர் அவ்வளவுதான் கொடுக்க
yeah,
முடியும்.
batsman is a batsman, spinner is a spinner. That's what Chahal did. And Chahal, what
மூணு
they didn't
விக்கெட்.
do, yeah, what they didn't do in the one dayers. I've been telling the first 10 overs are very crucial. You have to take wickets in the power play. Today they picked up Aaron Finch and Steve Smith in quick succession. Adukapro, I mean, only Maxwell can do some magic and win the game for them. So thereafter, I think Indian bowling really controlled the game. And it was great to see.
We'll talk about the rest because there's so much to talk about நம்ம தமிழ்நாடு பசங்க. But come back to the controversy. Obviously, it was a big deal. It's still a matter of huge debate. So, எனக்கு வந்து as a bowler, we had a like for life replacement. We had a spinner to spinner replacement. Yes, left arm spinner க்கு right arm spinner கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. Okay, but what do you see? I need your insight as a bowler and as a commentator, as a coach. What is your, what did you think of today? Because Australia is seeing red over it.
I mean, they certainly will see red over it because a like for like substitute becomes the man of the match. And he picks up very important wickets to win the game for India. Although I thought, I mean, we will definitely talk about the Tamil Nadu duo later. But Chahal, I was surprised that he was left out of the playing 11 in the first place.
Because he did so badly in the one dayers.
That 50 overs game is different from 20 overs game. 50 overs is 2.5 times the 20 overs. 20 overs in the middle overs, batsmen have to play shots. That's why Chahal, a leg spinner, is very, very successful. Adam Zampa is successful. Imran Tahir is successful. We had so many successful leg spinners in T20s. Whereas in a 50-over game, over a 10-over period, you can wait for the bowlers to bowl bad balls and score of them. But in 20 overs, the batsman has got to take the initiative and play the big shots. I mean, these days they play the big shots early in the over because if they get a boundary early in the over, then even if they get 5 singles, it's 9 or maybe 12 runs to the over. So once they try to attack the first 2 balls and are not successful, batsmen do get desperate and end up making mistakes.
So tell us again, what was the controversy? Because I believe that David Boone was fine. He approved the replacement.
Yeah, on the field, the umpires control the play. Off the field, it's the match referee in consultation with the umpires who will take the decision. And once David Boone would have seen the rule books and taken a call after that. And you can't say an outside match referee did this. It was an Australian match referee who took a firm decision. The like for like replacement. Jadeja is a bowling all-rounder. So they gave us another bowler. I mean, if they're not given us Chahal, we'd have been left with 4 bowlers. And with 4 bowlers, even if 200 was India's score, they would have still lost.
What was Australia's contention? And it's ironical that Justin Langer and David Boone were an opening pair in their days, and now they are on 2 sides of the same coin. எனக்கு அது சுமாரா புரிஞ்சிச்சு. எல்லாருக்காகவும் ஒரு தடவை அதை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுங்க.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. Prior to that concussion, the ball hitting him on the head, Jadeja was supposedly limping because of a hamstring injury. So on commentary, people said, if he had a hamstring, why would he be given a substitute? But what happened after that was the concussion injury. So when a player's fitness is taken, you've got to take the second part of it. He was injured on the head after he was limping. The fact that he was limping was the argument between Langer and David Boone. They thought it was a hamstring injury, and for a hamstring injury, you don't get a replacement. But Later, what occurred after a few deliveries was the head injury. So the head injury has got to be taken in place, and the concussion substitute need to be given. So the line of argument from Justin Lang and the Australians is
Is that
that
he waived the concussion replacement
no, you
as
can't.
that? Uh.
There's enough proof that he got hit on the head.
No, no, but he waived it, right? He said it's okay, I'll play on. ஏன்னா இன்னும் ஒரு பாதி over தான் இருந்தது. He said he'll play on. இல்லையா?
Yeah, that's what happened in India. I mean, people forget when Steve Smith got hit on the head. He came and batted the next morning, and after batting 1 over, he said he's feeling giddy and went back. That's when, Labuschagne, as people call him, but
Oh, yeah.
his way of pronouncing the name, let us get it right, is Manus Labuschagne from South Africa. He came in as a concussion substitute. He got 80 plus, and that suited Australia. And they had no complaints at that point of time. It was a like for like replacement, batsman for batsman,
Yes,
and
yes.
they found a real superstar in Labuschagne. So Australian teams gained out of that, and this particular match, India were on the lucky side.
Lucky சொல்றதுக்கு இல்ல. I mean,
Yeah, this
I hope
particular
I
situation.
let's hope that Jadu is back in smashing form day after tomorrow. So,
Yeah, he is a hard customer. I mean, every time he gets to his 50, you see the warrior kind of a sword twirling of the bat. He's a warrior. His fondness is for horses.
Rajasthan Royals.
His fondness is for the horses, so he'll come back strong.
Here's something that I have to put out there. Even if Chahal had not been there, I feel we would have still won the match. Because we did good with the other boys, especially with our boys, Natarajan and Washington Sundar.
Well, it's been a long, long time since two Tamil Nadu bowlers have bowled together, bowled in tandem. And it was great to see Washington Sundar 4 overs for 16 runs.
காண கண் கோடி வேண்டும் இந்த பக்கம் நடராஜன் இந்த பக்கம் சுந்தர்.
Washington Sundar, people say, oh, he's not taken wickets. But 4 overs, 16 runs creates pressure from one end. And the bowlers to benefit is the bowlers bowling from the other end. They get the wickets. So I thought Washington Sundar in the power play was fantastic. In the middle overs was fantastic. He's a different kind of a bowler because he bowls quicker through the air and flatter through the air. He bowls just back of a length. So very, very difficult to step out and hit him. Unless Washington Sundar bowls a bad ball, real bad ball, short ball, it's very difficult to hit him. And Natarajan was quite a revelation. One of the reasons why I'm wearing this t-shirt,
I see that.
is Tamil Nadu Premier League. And this boy comes from a village 30 kilometers away from Salem, and he had nothing. He just didn't even have, his family didn't even have money to have 3 meals a day. So apparently his father worked as a porter in the railway station. Mother did some work on the streets. So together, somehow he had somebody to help him with tennis ball cricket. And in fact, he saw a cricket ball when he was only 20 years of age. And in the TNPL, I must tell you, in the TNPL, the players draft, I was in charge of the players draft. Dindigul Dragons, one of the teams. The first pick in the TNPL was Natarajan. There was a lot of test cricketers, Ravichandran Ashwin, Murli Vijay, XYZ, whoever. But the player who was picked first by the Dindigul Dragons was Natarajan.
எதுக்காக பேட்ஸ்மேன் தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பிக் பண்ணுவாங்க.
These people had a different strategy of picking up bowlers who will win the game because the matches were being played in Dindigul and in Tirunelveli. So they expected pitches. Dindigul is a beautiful pitch. Tirunelveli is kind of a slow pitch. But they have worked on Natarajan. They've seen him bowl these splendid Yorkers with the tennis ball and then later on graduating to cricket ball. So
Those
he was
Yorkers are sexy. They're just பார்த்துட்டே இருக்கலாம். And the Australians have not read him. IPL they didn't meet him enough. என்னன்னு தெரியல. They've not read him and it's so amazing to see how it works.
No, if Natarajan goes like this in the company of Bumrah, today's most expensive bowler was Mohammad Shami. Imagine this bowling lineup. This bowling lineup with Bumrah in it, the last 4 overs with Natarajan and Bumrah bowling those Yorkers, you can expect a lot more.
So, பேசிட்டோம் எல்லாரும் பத்தி and that wicket with Maxwell.
Maxwell was brilliant. Because Maxwell was one player who could have won the game for them. And that's a perfect delivery. I mean, it was not a Yorker. It was delivery that pitcher on leg stump would have hit off stump. And that's where the left-hander has a lot of advantage. Even if it bowls a straight ball from left arm over, it's got the angle to go across the right-hander. But this one pitched and came back in. And very well bowled under pressure. I mean, he's playing his first T20 international. He's under pressure, bowling to Maxwell. And the best way is to get them out and gain confidence.
So we've got a great lineup now. Looks like we've found our groove. We played the last ODI in Canberra, India won it. We played the first T20 in Canberra, India has won it. But now we go back to Sydney. The next two T20s, we have to win at least one to win the series. ரெண்டுமே சிட்னில விளையாடுறாங்க. And Sydney, not very lucky for Kohli or India this time.
It could be a change of luck this time around. I predicted ODIs Australia will win. I also predicted T20s India will win. But you have to win two out of two from Australia point of view to win the series. So there'll be enormous amount of pressure. And the way in which the Australian lineup looks, man to man, I mean, I'm not talking about the hitman because he's not there, but man to man.
I know. I wish Rohit Sharma was there. I mean, how many times have we said this? Go on.
Yeah, Indian team, I mean, lives on confidence. The last two games, a 50 over game and a 20 over game. I predicted the 50 overs to go Australia's way and the T20s to go India's way. Because it's easy to play T20s when you play IPL. When you play 20 over tournament over 2 months and then go and play a 50 over game, it's vastly different. Now, India will go high in confidence. Australia will be under pressure to win two out of two. But the team that wins the first game usually ends up winning the series. So I think they'll win the second one and seal it.
Okay, that's awesome to hear. So let me just ask you one more question. After the first T20 match, and considering this is a probable team for our World Cup as well, we're looking at it seriously. So, how do you feel?
I feel terrific about this young Indian team. I mean, they dropped a couple of chances earlier on, but took some terrific catches to get rid of Finch and Steve Smith. T20, I mean, fielding becomes very, very important. And somebody like a Hardik Pandya becomes fit enough to bowl, and Bumrah gets back into the side, and Rohit Sharma comes back into the side. I think it is going to be a dreadful time, not only for the selectors, but for the opposition. So I see India building up a nice team, gathering momentum, and they should peak at the right time. People clicking at the right time, and I see India have a really good chance of winning the World Cup T20.
All right. So onward to Sydney. Rock on, Team India. Thanks, Ellis.
Thank you.